Cam Kashani, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. And by the way, I love the name of your book.
Thank you.
Becoming Unfckwithable.
Yes.
There you go, everyone. It is a woman's guide to transformation, pain to power.
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Almost.
Did you say it?
A woman's guide to transform pain into power.
There you go.
Yes.
We love anything like trigger for me, transformation in a positive way.
Yes, absolutely.
So Cam, will you tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah. Where do I start?
You don't have to start at the beginning. Start when you really felt the pain.
So I guess I'll start with I never knew that I would be where I am now. I never had confidence growing up. I was a very, very, very insecure kid and a very insecure young adult. I had the most negative inner dialogue. I grew up as the fat kid. I was severely bullied. I had no friends growing up. I was just like a loner and didn't love myself, or like hated myself. And as life happens, I got married pretty young and I ended up getting divorced. And my divorce ended up becoming my awakening. It was actually the best thing that ever happened to me. It happened when I had twin boys that were only 1.5 at the time, which was very, very, very difficult. And it was absolutely a heartbreaking divorce, but it brought me into my power. It was the divorce that began my obsession with the work, so to say, the inner work.
So the pain,
That's why the book is Transforming Pain into Power,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Pain enters at the wound. I think that's a Rumi quote.
Yes.
So let's talk about the childhood a little bit, because I think that this is the bottom line with so many people. It goes back to childhood, and it's something I don't really talk a lot about. But, and, as a mother, I'm a mother too, we always worry, is that what's going on inside of our kid? Like,
right.
How do you know if your kid's happy? How do you know if they have the inner confidence it's going to take to make it through this journey we called life?
Yeah.
So when you say you were an unhappy kid, what does that mean? And did you know it at the time, or looking back, did you figure it out?
No, looking back, I figured it out. Growing up, I thought that was just normal. And when I say unhappy kid, if you looked at me, you wouldn't know that. I always had a smile on my face. I was always making jokes.
The mask, the Maya.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Exactly. And I wanted everyone else to feel comfortable, right? I wanted to make sure my mom and dad were okay. My brother was okay. Everyone else was okay.
Are you a pleaser?
I was.
Right.
Absolutely.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not even close.
So you're growing up, where'd you grow up? Here in California?
Yeah, I've been in LA since I was 6 years old.
Got it. So you grow up here, you're at school, no friends.
No friends.
Suffering as a child, lonely as a child?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had a friend or two, but they would one day be my friend, one day, I'm not your friend anymore, so.
Look, that is life, and that's one needs tools as a child as well.
Absolutely.
And I fear that parenting today has become a little too loosey-goosey, and that the parents really don't have the tools, or don't want to use the tools it takes to create strong.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of parents have become lazy.
Is it laziness, you think?
It's kind of like it's difficult to be a parent. And there's no real handbook on it. I mean, you can read all the books that you want, but at the end of the day, being a parent is a hell of an initiation. It's very, very difficult. I grew up so quickly once I had my kids, right? Before that, you're kind of more in your own world. And then you have children, and it's not about you anymore.
No, our children are our teachers, for sure.
That's it. And they are our triggers, right? They can trigger you so much, because those are the wounds inside of you as a child that need healing, right? And a lot of parents, maybe I shouldn't call it lazy, more like unaware, unconscious. And with the whole device thing, everyone having an iPad or a phone or whatever, it became kind of lazy parenting.
I think we're in an era of parenting that we're afraid to say no to our children.
There's that too.
I remember when my kid was both my children were in preschool, and you weren't allowed to use the word no. It was a bad word. And I'm like, no is not a bad word.
No.
It's a real tool.
boundary.
It's a boundary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's necessary. And as a mom of boys, I have to make sure that my boys understand what reality is like. I'm not going to sit and sugarcoat for them. I'm not going to sit and try to make everything kind and perfect and whatever. Otherwise, they're going to get slapped so hard.
No, I really like Jordan Peterson's philosophy around this. It's really sort of letting them make their own choices and fuck up really early.
Yeah.
And then pay the consequences. Like, consequences matter. Yeah. Did you go to college?
I did. Yeah. I went to college and I got my MBA as well. And I also got my doctorate in spirituality, but that came a lot later.
Was that at Santa Monica? Was that in Santa Monica, University of Santa Monica?
That was my degree in spiritual psychology, separate from my doctorate in spirituality.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And where'd you do that?
That was at Emerson School of Theology.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really cool. But that came a lot later. That was just like 4 or 5 years ago that I did that. Because once I got into the work after my divorce and I got legitimately obsessed with the work is when I was like, oh, USM, how cool is that? University of Santa Monica. I want to go there.
And did you work with that husband and wife team at the time?
I did.
They're great.
They're the best. Ron and Mary.
They're fabulous.
Yeah, they're amazing, truly. Yeah. And yeah, at some point in time, around, I would say 11 years ago, is when I began coaching. That's when I kind of had my awakening and I realized that I had been hiding my power this whole time. I had attracted toxic relationships, toxic friendships, abusive relationships, abusive friendships. And once I started doing the work and peeling back those layers, I was able to find who I really am and my true power. And I really felt my calling is to remind others, especially women, who they really are.
Do you think that healers who are not yet aware of their power, or light workers, or whatever you want to refer to yourself, do you think that they just by nature attract broken people? Don't you think that's...
it's a part of it, absolutely. But I don't know if I would say it's just healers and light workers. It's whatever's alive in you, right? It's all a frequency.
Of course.
So I was vibrating at a lower frequency of no self-worth. If I'm vibrating at a frequency of no self-worth, of course I'm going to attract a darker energy, right? And once I started clearing all that out, I noticeably saw my friends beginning to change and my relationships beginning to change and truly calling in what I truly deserve. Okay, so I don't attract that stuff anymore.
So what was the work?
OMG,
that's the key, because that's why people listen. They want to know what you did and how it'll help them. Because the truth of the matter is, we are on a planet right now with a very, very heavy pain body.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unbelievable. And the shift is coming, in the Aquarian age, and the next 5 years we'll be really fully into it. Yeah. But right now we're on the cusp.
Right.
And I don't know if you feel it, but I can certainly feel it.
I feel everything.
Right.
I am a feeler.
Are you an empathic?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm highly intuitive and energetically sensitive. So I feel everything. I hear, I see, it's intense out there. And it's really a reflection of people and what's going inside of us, right? So for me, as far as the work is concerned, what was the most powerful, if I had to break it down out of all the different modalities and whatnot that I learned, it's inner child work. It's always the little one inside who is leading the big one. We have no awareness, if we don't do inner child work, of what that little one truly went through and the decisions that he or she made about themselves and what they believe about themselves and the misunderstandings they created and the limiting beliefs they created and whatnot. So once I started doing inner child work and really, really connecting with the little girl inside me, which I still do actively, by the way.
I want to hear the process, but is inner child work the same as shadow work?
There's a nuance that it's different.
Okay.
It's different. And shadow work is also a big part of everything. Yeah.
And is this all Gestalt? Are you doing all Gestalt work, or is there a different process?
Gestalt is a primary part of it. It's calling forward that little one, right? And speaking to it. I don't do it like the 2 chairs necessarily, the way that the Gestalt method kind of officially is like, but I do it inside as a meditation.
Okay. So let's hear it.
It's just closing at this point in time.
No,
I'll say, well,
let's go back.
In the beginning, it was difficult to connect.
It was
very difficult to connect.
And I want you to talk us through that, because that's the part where people get lost. It's really, it's a concept. It's really easy to understand.
Yes.
But it's like love yourself.
Yeah.
it's incredibly difficult to connect with what that means.
Well, 100%. And especially because all this lives in the body and we're all trained to be in the mind, right? So that was the first barrier, was leaving my mind in some way, shape, or form to be able to come into my body.
Right.
So when I first started doing inner child work, and I have all of that explained in my
In the book?
by the
Okay.
way, yeah. When I first started doing inner child work, it was, I had so much resistance, first of all. So much resistance. I legitimately had to force myself. I would put a timer in my phone, like a reminder in my phone, sit with little Saya, which is my Persian name, sit with little Saya and just do 5 minutes. Like I started with just 5 minutes. And at first I couldn't see her. I couldn't feel her. I couldn't hear her. But I sensed an energy in some way, shape, or form. And, you know, as far as my coaching and whatnot was going back then, I was like, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Keep showing up. At some point in
So are
time,
you embodying her or you visualize?
visualize. It's
Oh,
a visualization.
really?
But she actually shows up. Yeah.
So you're looking at her.
I'm
You're not
looking at her.
embodying.
No.
Oh, that's so okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
interesting.
I sit in a meditation and I call her forward as if she's sitting across from me. She's sitting
Wow.
across from me on a bench.
So
And
you're
she'll
looking at yourself as a little girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And she shows up at different ages depending on what needs to be healed. Like she'll show up as 7 years old. She'll show up as 5 years old. She'll show up as a baby. She'll show up as 18. It's like whatever version of me that day needs attention.
Of course.
Yeah. And it would morph as more and more as time went by. But once I got over the initial resistance and I began to actually see her, things started to really shift. I began to have breakthroughs. I began to have moments where I just started bawling and crying.
Sure. Those were breakthroughs,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Just crying and holding her and loving her, reminding her that she's safe, and just showing up for her in a way that I felt nobody around me could, right? Because people, parents, and as a parent, I know this, sometimes you just don't want to deal with your kid's tantrum, right? Or you don't want to deal with your kid's attitude or whatever it is. Inner child work allows you to reconnect to that part of you so that you can show up fully for that little one and give them whatever the parent wasn't able to give them. So if she has to throw a tantrum, I let her. I just sit and I watch and I hold space for her.
Will she actually throw tantrums in front of you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I'll join her if I feel that I need to do that. If I feel like there's a somatic release coming and I need to let go of something, we'll hit a pillow or we will, scream. I love using my voice, just get things out, deep breathing, whatever it is that will help her feel better.
So communication's obviously a big one. You're
That's the biggest
using
part.
the throat
Yeah,
chakra, and
yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
the heart too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The heart
absolutely.
and throat, the alignment of the two.
Yeah.
Feeling and communicating.
Yes. And moving that energy out, right? Like the somatic part of it, if that's what she feels she needs. Like a few days ago, I connected with her and she was just like, I feel angry. And I'm like, okay, I love you so much. Be angry. What do you need? How can I show up for you? What do you need from me right now? She's like, I just want you to watch me. Okay. And I just watched her. I watched her be angry.
Do you think there's any aspect to this? Now, this is sort of more of a quantum question. I don't know if you're
Yeah,
into
I love that stuff.
So do you think that both these realities could be happening simultaneously?
I believe they are.
Oh,
Absolutely.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
so that's why
Yes.
you can both be and exist at the same time. So she's actually there with you.
The little girl is very much alive in the quantum. 100%. She's alive right now. Wow, whatever she's doing.
Right, you're just on different timelines.
That's it. Like in space and time, that stuff doesn't exist in the real spirit world.
No, it does
right?
not.
Yeah, everything is just right now. She's 2 years old right now. She's 5 years old right now. She's 8 years old right now. It's all right here, right
She's
now.
coexisting on a different timeline.
Yes, exactly.
I believe that too.
Exactly.
I believe that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so through this connection, through your child, because as you're growing, that little girl is probably growing at the same time.
Absolutely.
She's healing as well.
Yeah. That's the purpose, right? Helping her really heal whatever she believed about herself that wasn't true. The I'm not worthy because I'm fat. The I'm not good enough. The I'm not worthy in any way, shape, or form. The I'm not pretty enough. The I'm whatever stories that she had running the show. I sit with her and I remind her the truth. And the truth is you're absolutely perfect. And I love you. And you're gorgeous. And you are a beautiful light.
But it's not just saying that. She actually has to believe what you're saying.
Yes, but if I believe it, so does she.
Right, because it's that quantum connection.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. So once she sees that I'm coming from certainty and I'm telling her these from my truth, like now as adult Cam, I understand the truth of what happened. I understand all of those stories. So I help her unravel those stories so that she's able to really see herself as she is.
What would you say to an adult who came to you and said, I've been having these, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis, but these thoughts, which I never did because I've never had regret in my life, ever. Like I feel like everything in my life has gotten me to where I am today. But lately, and this is actually true, lately I've been thinking about my youth and how much opportunity I had and how lucky I was and how fortunate. And there's this weird sense of having squandered it. And it's brand new, but it's intense. And I guess I have to go back to that little inner child in myself to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about right now. It's like, wow, had I taken advantage of that, my life would have taken a very different path. And yet I'm very happy with the path that my life's taken.
Sure.
So it's complicated. And I think that we're
be.
always reevaluating where I think comes from taking that moral compass or trying to figure out what the next phase of my life is as one child has left the nest and the other one's on his way out. I feel that they need me less. So I'm probably looking to fill a void that hasn't yet occurred. I'm in preparation.
That makes sense. And my guidance would be, or my invitation would be, connect with that part of you that is telling you this, because it is just a part of you.
Right.
It's not the true you, right? Connect to that part of you that is giving you this information and ask, where is this coming from?
And what am I supposed to learn from this?
Yes.
What is it trying to tell me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to remind yourself that there wouldn't have been any other path. You did exactly what you knew how to do at the time, and you chose what was best for you at the time.
Well, don't you think we always have a million choices, like endless amount of choices
Yeah, but we only choose the choice that aligns with our consciousns at the time,
in that moment?
right? So there's no regret.
No, the regret might be that I wasn't as conscious then as I am now.
Is that a regret, though?
I don't think I would have progressed to this point had I, right?
Exactly.
Interesting that you bring up inner dialogue, because I don't know if you know this, but I teach Kundalini as well.
Oh, nice.
And I'm talking a lot about inner dialogue because as this came up in me, like we teach the classes that we want to learn from. So this has been coming up a lot. And what people have to realize is that the person you have the most conversations with in your life are you.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 24-hour dialogue.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't change, our circumstances don't change and the thought patterns don't change. So let's talk a little bit about inner dialogue, because I do think that's the first step
Yeah.
to change, to
It can be,
transformation.
yeah. I mean, inner dialogue is really important. And I think the very first step of that is awareness, because so many people are stuck in that inner dialogue so deeply that they're not even aware that it's negative.
Right.
They just think this is normal. Like, that's how I was, right? I was so mean to myself. So much judgment.
Me too. And you notice when you judge yourself, you judge others.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
So you have to we have to
absolutely.
clear that field.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, the way that I'm able to take a deeper look inside is during meditation. And I know that you're not supposed to wander off, but every now and then I will. I'm
Sure.
like, listen to your dialogue right now. Yeah. Change that immediately.
Yeah.
Just change it. It even helps to put a smile on your face. It it changes everything neurologically.
Yeah.
Kind of instantaneously.
Yeah, absolutely. What worked for me was noting what my dialogue was like. I kept a journal with me. This is before I kind of put everything in my phone, but I would keep a journal with me and I would write down every time I had a negative thought so that I could come into a space of hyper awareness. Yeah. And then what I would do at the end of the day, as I'm looking over all these negative thoughts, first of all, it's like shocking to look at.
And I'm sure they're very similar, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
For the most
They're
part,
very
right?
similar.
There's a theme, there's a pattern, right?
right.
But looking at the sheer number of it, the volume of how many negative thoughts, you're just like, it shocks you, you know? So that was the first step.
And the written word, I think, is more important than putting it in your phone.
Yeah,
I actually
absolutely.
do think
it
that
makes a big difference in the mind. Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. But what I would do with each individual thought is I would reframe it. If I had a thought of, I look ugly, or I look like I gained 5 pounds today, or whatever,
right.
I would reframe it to, I am beautiful, and my body is a piece of art. My body is a beautiful machine that's doing incredible things for me. And over time, takes a little bit of time, but over time, you are able to pattern interrupt those thoughts, right? So if a negative thought started coming up, I go like, oh, hi, I recognize you now. And I'm going to choose this thought instead.
It's really important for women not to be discouraged by the time factor.
In terms of how long it takes?
Yeah, I mean, it just does. And be aware of it and know that every day you're making a shift towards the better, right? I like to say little by little becomes a lot.
Absolutely.
And not to be discouraged. If it's not worth it if it doesn't take work.
100%. And I will add, though, when I first started, I had breakthroughs almost immediately.
Well, you're blessed,
it's not like
right?
But I've coached people the same way. Like, you can have breakthroughs quickly if you are really committed. If you're really committed and you're fully showing up and you're willing to see what you're actually doing and take full responsibility for yourself, you can begin to shift relatively quickly. But there are components that just take a lot of time. Like if you have negative body image.
Body dysmorphia, right?
Body dysmorphia and stuff. That stuff takes a while.
It does, because you also feel it in your body. So if you don't feel good in your body, then it's hard to project a positive attitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
And gaining 2 pounds, like, we feel it.
Right.
So that's a hard one. Mm-hmm. But what's incredible about that is once you change the way you look at your body, you see the world differently.
Yeah.
You have a different place on the planet. It's very intense.
As somebody who had really intense body dysmorphia, and I even had a 20-year prescription amphetamine addiction because of it. I took Adderall, like insane doses, just to stay skinny.
Yeah. You're not alone. You're not alone in LA.
Yeah. Now that I'm beyond all of that, and I've been doing mirror work for years, I've been really going deep into the body stuff, and I feel free of all of that. Your whole life changes. Your whole entire perception of you and the world transforms. My perception of women has transformed. Every single woman I meet, I just see beauty in her. Before, because I was criticizing myself, there was some judgment happening,
of course.
Right? But now, every single woman I see, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. Her energy is this and that and whatnot. You feel so much more free.
Look, I think the mirror work is some of the most powerful work. Now, it's also, again, it's hard to understand until you really dive deep. But I find the mirror work to be unbelievable.
Because
it really shines light on how you're seeing the world and how off you are.
Yeah, exactly.
It really puts things into perspective.
And you mentioned shadow work. Mirror work is beautiful for shadow work. You can you meet all, if you're ready, you will meet all parts of yourself in the mirror. You will see your darkness, you will see your light. And the mirror exposes you in a way that nothing else can.
So is the key always to love the part of yourself that you don't love?
Always.
Right.
Always, right? The shadow is the part of us that we've denied and rejected or avoided, right? So meeting that part, it's all about meeting ourselves, meeting every single part of us, not avoiding any particular thing. The part of me that judged, the part of me that hated, the part of me that whatever. Meeting all of her, loving all of her, and then that energy begins to dissolve and you're operating in a really beautiful yin and yang with yourself.
Right. It also helps all your other relationships because judgment is the worst thing. Like when you're dating a man and, you know, your inner dialogue, it shifts from you to him for a moment.
Yeah.
And, oh, what a loser. And why can't he do this right? And, you know, The whole thing, it just starts over. You've just transferred it from you to him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Judgment is a really, really...
It's a killer.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, it's a dangerous one, and it's one that I have to work on constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you have is there a physical practice involved? Because I think that's important, moving the energy around, moving the chi.
Absolutely.
So, I'm assuming breath work.
Breath work, it's like something I force myself to do because to this day I still have resistance to it.
Well, that means you need it.
Yeah, exactly.
That means you need it.
Yeah,
and we both
I
know that.
I do it.
Right,
I do
of
it.
course.
Absolutely. But I'm just being honest. I
know,
still absolutely
exactly.
have resistance to it.
Of course.
And beyond that, just regular movement, working out, Pilates, just making sure that my body is getting what she needs. I love dancing. Dancing is one of my favorite ways. Ecstatic dance I used to do. Now I just do it by myself at home. I'll just put some music on and I'll just go crazy and have a great time and make sure that anything I'm feeling, like not caring what it looks like, right? And just anything I'm feeling, just give it motion.
Do the men in your life, do any of the men in your life, I guess there are three of the boys and your husband. Congratulations, it's your anniversary.
Thank you.
Find yourself in a beautiful marriage, in a beautiful union, right?
In a beautiful union, absolutely.
That's the work. Do you attribute that to the work?
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
I would never have attracted my husband as who I used to be.
Talk to us about that, because I think that a lot of women looking for men out there.
Yeah.
A lot. I think that that's a big symptom.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a symptom of their inner unhappiness, or what do you think it's a symptom of? It's not a lack of in Los Angeles, is it?
No. And everything's energy. There is no lack. Lack is an illusion.
Right.
I really believe that it's all about your inner feminine and your inner masculine being at peace with each other. So when I went through my divorce, I was intentionally single for 8 years. I really wanted to figure out what it is that had attracted these different relationships and what it was that resulted in me being where I am and feeling the way I did about myself. And so, like I said, I did the work. But it took me a really long time to really get to that part, because the whole time I was manifesting my husband. The whole time I'm like, I want this man. I want a man that is this. I had my vision board. I had the whole thing, right? And it took me a really long time to really understand where I was energetically vibrating from. Because even though I was single, I would go on dates here and there, but I kept attracting the same type of guy in a different body.
What was that type?
A little bit, I don't like speaking negatively, but somebody who can't see my worth. Someone who can't see my worth. Somebody who could be selfish, have a little bit of narcissistic tendencies, just not somebody I could be my full self with.
They didn't value you.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And it was because I didn't value myself.
Of course.
Right? But at some point when I began to value myself, I still wasn't attracting the man that I wanted. So I was like,
well, there's a lag time.
Really is?
There's a little lag time.
There is a lag time for sure. Yeah, that's absolutely a part of it. But I really believe that once I came into my feminine and I let go of anger towards men, that was really important, because I did hold a grudge towards men. I did hold anger, not just because of my previous marriage and whatnot, but just my whole life and different relationships that I had just pain in my heart towards men. And I had to really meet that part of me. I had to really, really sit with that pain and understand that it wasn't about the men. It's not their fault. It was where I was at, and they were all teaching me. So once I was able to have my masculine energy calmer, so to say, and my feminine more so running the show, because so many women nowadays are operating in their masculine.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Once I was able to find that balance and that flow, literally he appeared.
It's interesting you say that, because I think this whole, choosing career over parenting and having to, women becoming the men that they wanted to marry. Like, we're so tough.
Yeah.
Our vagus nerve is so tight. And you can see it. So many women clench up here.
Yeah.
And I think it's really learning to embrace your feminine. We've forgotten how to do that. Like, I heard someone using the expression the other day of toxic femininity. And I thought, wow, boy, do you have it wrong. Like, there's nothing toxic about femininity.
No, femininity is beautiful.
And by the way, there's nothing toxic about masculinity.
Exactly.
And so for women to just sort of, touch yourselves, feel yourselves, know that you're a goddess. You're beautiful, and try to reclaim that, because the survival in you is armor.
Right.
It's armor. So we have to shed the armor, but it's hard. You've got bills to pay. You've got children to raise. It's hard.
Sure.
But I think it is key to finding the men we want. And I also think it's the more feminine you are, the more on that feminine scale, the more of a masculine man you're going to attract.
Oh, 100%.
Right? So the closer you get, and by the way, if you want a man who's not that masculine, that's also fine.
Sure.
So the closer you are to the center, the more your man is going to be closer to the center. It is a direct reflection. It is a direct reflection. And oftentimes, these very strong women or powerful women who want a masculine man, they fall flat because they're exuding too much of their masculine, and that makes a masculine man run.
Yeah.
So, having a career is beautiful as long as it doesn't take over.
And that's the thing, right? So many women have a career, but they're betraying themselves on a daily basis. Okay. Is it really worth it?
It is not. It is not.
Yeah.
We've put ourselves, there's certain movements that have forced us into a corner that I think a lot of us don't want to be in that corner.
Well, and it's time to take our power back, right? Now we're in a space where
I love this conversation because this is something women are afraid to talk about.
100%.
It is taboo to say you prefer a family life over a job.
Right.
It is taboo to say that your home life is more valuable than your career. I think a lot of us have chosen careers because we didn't know what else to do. Our career is different. Right? What we're doing is it's different.
Well, and
it exudes femininity.
I will say something more taboo. I really believe that corporate America is against the feminine, not in terms of the patriarchy, which is a word that I don't like using, but it's a system that operates on the 24-hour cycle of the testosterone. It mimics the testosterone levels. We operate on a 28-day cycle. For us to force ourselves every morning 9 to 5 is a betrayal of our bodies.
We're denying our bodies.
Absolutely.
Exactly right. And then we get upset because we don't understand that there are some things that men are better equipped to do, which is to work those long hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But there are ways for women to be able to combat that if that is the way that they prefer to live their life. More power to you if that's what you want to do, but you can incorporate practices that help you reconnect to your body, that help you reconnect to your feminine energy, and you're able to operate in more flow, not burn out, and allow your body to really be in that beautiful feminine flow.
I agree. I think there's also a lot of female victimhood. Between you and who gets treated better than the white female right now in society? Mm-hmm. Very few people, very few groups. So I do think we have to, instead of complaining about what we don't have, we have so much.
I think anybody can make their life victim-y if they choose to, white or not, right? Like, I grew up as an immigrant. I, like I said, was bullied, and there were so many reasons for me to say that I'm a victim, but I chose not to. I chose to be in my power. I chose to take my power back. Any woman in the world can play the victim card, but that's really just doing herself the biggest disservice. It results in you not being able to attract anything you want.
I don't even see us as victims. So for me, I'm
beyond
that. I think it's a story that we've told ourselves for so long. I think we are absolutely lucky. Mm-hmm. I can't think, we are so empowered.
Yeah.
And And we can use that power in many different ways. And obviously, I don't like the manipulative power. And I think that that's what people are sort of hedging at when they use the term toxic femininity. But I think it's sort of navigating it with an open heart, with a compassionate heart. And heart-centric. I think that's the female energy, is heart-centric.
I think that toxic femininity is feminism. I think I think feminism started out with a beautiful intention because women really needed a movement to help us come back into equilibrium. The right kind of equilibrium. Men and women have different strengths and weaknesses. We can't do all the same things. This is like duh.
No, it's a world of polarity.
Exactly. But at some point, the pendulum of feminism went from one way. Now it's completely on the other, and it's become an issue. When I see all feminists are angry.
I couldn't agree with you.
And they're all victims.
You're preaching to the choir. I love that we've gone down this path because I love talking about realities that are taboo.
Yeah.
And we can change it.
Yeah.
We can change it.
Just take your power back.
Just take your power back.
And I say I understand it's not that easy. I understand that it's a process, but it's not impossible at all. As someone who was so severely disempowered myself, that I was able to take my power back, I genuinely believe that any woman who puts their mind to it can do it.
Oh, there's no question. Again, it takes time. The key, again, changing the narrative.
Yep.
What's the narrative? If you want to stay home and raise your kids and be a hands-on mother, there is absolutely no shame in that. Stop being afraid of that which we were actually born to do.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you say this and something else comes forward. Back in the day, our ancestors, right? The world was very different and women were able to do different types of work, right? They were the oracles. They were the healers. They were the ones in the villages that people would come to get, intuitive work or energy work and whatnot. And up until not that long ago, that was all woo-woo, and people thought it didn't mean anything, right? But thankfully now we're coming to a space where all that is shifting to.
Well, you bring up an interesting point. So we actually did take those characteristics, those abilities, and bring them into the corporate world with us. I don't know if you know this, but some enormous amount of therapists and psychologists are women.
Yeah.
So we're still caretakers.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
We're in human resources, right? We're still not as heavily into STEM as people say they would like. I think only 20% of something is STEM. So we found a way to take our strengths out of the house and put them in the corporate world. Why? Let's put them back in the house where they belong. Let's put them back in the house where they can impact the people we love the most, not strangers.
Sure, that's one way to look at it. But I respect where any woman's path and what she believes is best for herself, and only she knows what that is. So if a woman is somebody who is doing that work out in the corporate world, as long as she is not betraying herself, that's really all it comes down to. There are women who do thrive in those particular situations, and I'm not one to judge that, right? I can't see myself not working. I have to work. I love it.
Well, we're not talking about working.
No, I hear you.
Right, we're not talking about working.
I hear you. Yeah, you're talking about it in the corporate setting, and I understand there's a difference. But what I'm saying is
female politicians, they dress like men.
This is the issue, is that women are trying to be like men. This is the issue. If a female politician actually honors her feminine energy,
wow,
it's a very different thing. That's what I'm saying. Imagine having a corporate job, but still honoring your feminine energy. Right. It is possible.
Right, but we look at the Hillary Clintons of the world who put on, pantsuits or slack suits. I don't even know what they're called because I don't own one. Right, and they go in and all they're doing is they're emulating what they see as a man.
Right.
And
that's the polarity being completely thrown off, right?
Thrown off.
We are not men. And we are so much more powerful.
Exactly.
Being in our feminine is what is most powerful. The feminine is
creation. It probably could heal the nation.
That
could heal the nation.
I always say that. I say if women remembered their power, the world will transform overnight. It's not even a process. It's a switch.
Exactly.
And it's all about honoring that feminine inside of us. Stop trying to be like a man. Stop trying to be a man in a man's world, and be a powerful freaking woman out there and watch how things change. And if that means you need to change your job, change your job. And if that means things around you have to change, let them change. Gift yourself the best life that you can possibly have by honoring who you truly are instead of pretending to be someone else.
I couldn't agree with you more. So I think there's an aspect that we might be overlooking, and people who are listening to this might be like, well, they're not taking this into consideration. Sometimes you have to support a family financially.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's where we get torn apart, like let's say your husband leaves, you've got to support the kids, you're paying half the bills. Then you have to make the sacrifice and you have to work. But I would say choose a job where you can honor who you are.
And if you can't choose a job that you can't do that, there are ways and practices to let yourself still be in your feminine, to balance it out, to be able to show up however you need to show up at that job, but you're still honoring yourself on some level.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Really well said. Really well said. It would seem that there are more people that are being vocal about this point of view.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
And what do you think the shift is due to?
Consciousness and the rise of the divine feminine. The divine feminine has been sitting patiently waiting for us to remember who we are. And I feel like what is missing in the world with all the wars and all the crap that's happening out